So I was doing a two-way on a busy 60-mile-an-hour road. We were working with a tree cutting client, so they were cutting down the trees all day, and I had to hold up for the traffic for literally about 5 minutes, just because of their safety, because they literally were about to get to the last bit of the branch, and once that branch fell, it would have dropped into the shuttle lane of traffic. I decided to red the lights. I readied them. They were doing what they needed to do. And then there was just this one gentleman in the front of the traffic right next to where I controlled the lights. And he just started hurling abuse, threatening me, saying that he was going to get out of the car and punch me if I didn't green the lights. It just got worse and worse to the point where he just told me to go and kill myself. And I can deal with that, but as I was speaking to family members and stuff about it, it's like all it takes is for one person not to be in that right frame of mind, and that sentence could be acted on.
He started swearing at me and saying I'm not turning off his effing water, and I just explained that it'll be a continuous leak, it'll go down into your flat and I can't touch it, and they all got irate. They then went to the neighbour below them, so there was like 5 people screaming at me, telling me I'm not a real plumber, don't know why I'm here, I'm useless, and just screaming at me. In the meantime, I called my boss and I was like, I'm gonna go because I feel very uncomfortable. And as I was on the phone, he could literally hear them screaming at me. Obviously, I felt extremely anxious and scared, so I just literally got in my van and off I shot.
It was just an everyday, normal day. A gentleman come through the road closure to the front of my van and asked if he could come through. So basically told him like the road's closed and like you'll have to go back. He's proceeded to go past me to the next part of the enclosure, and he's started pulling the cones off the road, throwing the frames and signs into the roadside. So I've basically told him you can't do that. Started putting the cones back. He's got back in his car. He's just shoved past the cones what I put back, and basically just used his car as a weapon against me. He's just gone into the back of my legs, and I can feel the car, and I've tried to get out of the way, but he's took me up onto the bonnet. I twisted me back trying to get out of the way, and then he's drove off.
So I was spraying the consequential damage up a little bit further down the road on a 4-way junction, and got hurled abuse at from a passing car, who then threw a can at me as well, a full tin of pop. Continued going down the road, I continued doing what I was doing, and then a lady drove past me in a car and spat at me out the window as well. They just get this awful persona that they can speak to you and treat you however you want, and we're just normal people doing our jobs. Yeah, to say frustrations were quite high. It was a bad day at the office.
Just be careful of your words, because at the end of the day you don't know what someone's going through, and those words could really hurt. At the end of the day, we're out on the roads to make people safe while our clients can do their jobs, because if we weren't on the roads and they were doing their jobs, anything could happen. So it's just be careful with your words, because they may affect people in the future.
I've had coffees thrown at me, the abuse, screaming and shouting, but it's born out of frustration from road users. But you've got to understand that it's their safety that we're looking after, and pedestrians as well.
Just remain calm, and if none of your tactics are kind of working, just leave.
We don't ever wake up in the morning and think, whose days are we going to ruin today? Who should we go and wreck this part of the town because this is what we want to do? It never enters our head. We just want to get in and get on with our job.